Why, hi and hello there. It seems like you're in a little bit of a little pickle. So, bear with me as I ask you a couple of questions. Number one, tell me, what are 5 things that you can see right now? Yeah, take your time, no rush. Don't worry, we can tap softly if you like to. Okay. Right. Okay. Now tell me, what are 4 things that you can hear right now? 4 things you can hear right now. Okay. Lovely. You are doing such a good job. As always, you always do such a good job. Now, tell me 3 things that you can smell right now. It can be nothingness. It can be the scent of spring or summer air. It can be the scent of food. It could be the scent of your mattress, your linens, your perfumes. It could be the smell of humidity. Anything that percolates your mind. And if you fail to reach 3, then don't consider it a failure whatsoever. That means that you did your best, and that's all anyone can ever ask for. So, 3 things. Okay. Yeah. You're doing such a good job. You're doing such a good job. Such a good job. Okay. Now, we have done sense of sight, sense of smell, and sense of hearing. Now we're going to be doing a sense of touch. So, give me 2 things that you are touching right now. That could be the mattress, it could be a pillow, it could be a couch, it could be a seat, it could be anything that is currently pressing on your body. 2 things that you can touch right now, or that you're touching right now. Right. Excellent. You have done such a great job. Now we've done sense of touch, we've done sense of smell, sense of sight, and sense of hearing. Now for a sense of taste. Here, I'm going to be lighting this fire really quickly. You give it a quick taste. It won't burn you. It's a very special kind of fire. It's a very, very special kind of fire, so it's not going to burn you. You're going to feel it, and you're going to taste it, and you're going to tell me, what does it taste like, okay? Okay, stick out your tongue. I give you my word that it will not burn you. Stick out your tongue. Okay, now tell me, what did that taste like? It tasted like marshmallows, correct? So, let me write down that little tidbit about the marshmallows. Sense of taste. Tasted like marshmallows. Perfect. You were doing so good. So good. Now, I'm going to be taking this remote and I'm going to be reprogramming your brain very quickly. It seems like your brain is a little bit on the fritz. It seems to be kind of spiraling out and kind of being leaky. You have like a leaky mind. Much like the plumbing gets leaky and you need to kind of repair it with duct tape or glue or whatever. We're going to be repairing your mind to make sure that it's working in a way that is optimal for you, my darling. Not for anything else, not for a job, not for a hobby, not for another person, but for you, give you a sense of peace, give you a sense of control, give you a sense of stability, purpose, and serenity. So I'm going to be giving you a little bit of an examination. I'm just going to be deprogramming you very quickly. Okay, and then I'm going to be reading the instructions in your eyes very quickly, making sure that I'm putting in the correct coordinates and the correct numbers, so that way we can really make sure that this reprogramming is successful, make sure that it's paired up to your mind. Okay, I'm just going to be inputting the digits that I see inside your eyes to reprogram your mind. Okay, perfect. Okay, now look me right in the eyes. Okay, keep looking me in the eyes. Now I'm going to be reprogramming the digitalization of your brain, the complete rewiring of your brain. Now, I see that every time that there seems to be some negative stimuli, whether it be a stressful situation, a tense situation, whether it be something that kind of starts to overwhelm you, it feels like you're in a sort of prey, predator, sort of fight or flight defense mechanism. So you tend to, you tend to react to that situation, whether that situation is present or present in the mind. Now, regardless of if it's present in the real world or present in your mind, it is your reality. It is the world that you are living in. So we're going to be rewiring that very quickly, giving you a sense of calm, a sense of peace, rewiring those defense mechanisms, so that way when negative stimuli arises, you feel detached from it. You feel a sense of separation from you and that sense of stimuli, so that way you have a sense of control over yourself, your reactions, and your mind. Now, give me one moment, okay? I'm going to be pressing some of these buttons to erase some of the data already stored in your mind. Okay, let me just see. I'm just going to try to unlock some of the files inside your mind. Okay, and now just delete, just to free up some storage, free up some space inside the head, so that way you feel a lot less congested mentally, and you feel a lot more sense of freedom inside your cerebral cortex, spine, minal, skull, mental, sort of cranial facilities. So I'm just going to be deleting some of this data, deleting the data, and then sort of freeing up some space, offering up more storage, making sure that the entire process is working as smoothly as intended. Perfect. Okay. Now that we have that all saddled up, I'm going to be pressing in some code, some input, some information, so that way when the negative stimuli does arise, you are going to be responding to it according to the code that I'm about to put inside your head. So I'm going to be simply putting in some code now. Okay, when negative stimuli comes in, you block it from your mind. Block the negative stimuli from reaching your feelings, from reaching your identity, from reaching your sense of peace and sense of stability and sense of security. I'm going to be putting in some firewalls, so that way your mind knows how exactly to prevent any viruses of the emotional or of the toxic vein to influence, infect, or affect you. There we go. Making sure that I'm inputting some of the digits correctly. Okay, perfect. Okay. Now, I'm going to be testing out to see if the remote is, has been perfectly paired with your mind, and then if that is the case, I'm going to be adjusting your hearing, so that way your auditory processes, which could be affected by the previous data that has now been deleted, is now working optimally, where your sense of senses are no longer impaired, but rather at the forefront, or rather as strong as they were as a child, where your eyes can see the beautiful sort of colors and the vibrancy of the world. Your nose can smell all the beautiful scents from the grass being cut, or from smelling the way that its dew sort of drops from its blades, or where you can smell the flowers as you pass by, where you can smell things as present as you did as a child, along with hearing things as strongly as you used to as a child. Unfortunately, sometimes we tend to dull out the senses to sort of remove ourselves from the situations that we were in, and that process sort of remains with us even in situations where we would rather feel the circumstances around us. So I'm going to be raising the volume. I'm going to be raising the volume in your ears. Raising the volume in your ears so that way you can better hear. And I'm going to be raising the saturation in your eyes, making sure that you can better see color. Tell me, how did this background, how do these portraits look to you now? Really focus in on the lights. Really focus in on the lights. Do the lights please your eye? Do they seem to be very welcoming and fun to you? Yeah? Lovely, lovely. I'd love to hear that. Okay, so I'm just going to be raising up the saturation in your eyes. Okay, perfect. And now I'm going to be raising up the sensitivity in your nose, making sure that it's a very touch sensitive sort of setting. So I'm just going to be putting in a more touch sensitive sort of sensitivity into your nose, so that way your nose can process scents a lot more effectively. Okay, perfect, 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 perfect. Okay, now I'm going to be raising the sensitivity in your mouth as well, making sure that you can taste things as optimally as you could before, where, you know, candy was just the most delicious thing in the world and French fries were awesome and all of that jazz. So I'm going to be raising the sensitivity in your mouth, making sure that your palate is as sensitive as you desire it to be, and you can really fully appreciate the notes and flavors and scents and tones of all the food that you consume. Okay, so I'm just going to be raising the sensitivity on your palate, making sure that you can really taste the foods that you ingest. So we have done the auditory, now a sense of touch, sense of touch, sense of touch, sense of touch. Now for the sense of touch, I'm going to be relaxing some of the muscles inside the front of your head, the back of your head, the sides of your head, right there, right there, right there, right there, and then your neck right here, and then right here in the back of your neck, right there, and right there. So that way the sensitivity isn't too strong, and you can feel a lot more placated and a lot more restful, as opposed to being on alert at all times due to the previous data that you had stored inside your processing or your control processing unit. Now that that has been erased, you are now more capable of simply sensing and rather receiving the stimuli that you voluntarily and with your consent choose to allow within your system. So I'm going to be lowering the tension on your neck, and then raising the sense of bliss and euphoria, raising the bliss and euphoria, raising the bliss and euphoria. Keep a look at this light. Make sure that you keep looking at this light while I finish off this process right here. I'm just going to be lowering down the tension, and then raising the euphoria and bliss. Let me focus on your head very quickly. Now the back of your head, to the sides of your head, right there, and now your back of your neck, right there, perfect, and now the sides of your neck, perfect, and now your shoulders, perfect, okay. I'm just going to be exiting out of the programming platform really quickly, making sure that everything has been synced up perfectly and that I can no longer remote control you. You are 100% autonomous now. I cannot control you anymore. You have full capacity. You have been fully renewed on your own. You are completely 100% settled and set with your own sense of autonomy, your own sense of freedom, your own sense of peace, your own sense of security. Now, if you do feel like the previous settings do default back, for example, during like a factory reset, although what we did was a factory reset, but where you find that the previous settings return, please return back to me and I will factory reset your mind, so that way you are as you were when you were a child, prior to all of the negative experiences that have fed you the data that you default to previously before this factory reset. Okay, Perfect, perfect, perfect. You're doing great then. In that case, please, by all means, interact with the world and have fun with it. Now with your new setting.